Unlock your dream property with Meeks Realty Group, where Rich the Realtor makes real estate dreams a reality. Whether it's residential or commercial, we've got Charleston to Huntington covered. Your key to exceptional real estate experiences start here. Meeks Realty Group. Contact us at meeks.us.
The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 580 WCHS, its employees, or WVRC Media. From the studios of WVRC Media, the country, the United States of America, the state, West Virginia, the city, Charleston. This is the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live. And your host.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
He's kind of a big deal.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Dave Allen.
Happy Wednesday morning to you, and happy Juneteenth. Dave Allen Show is on the air from the Parmar Store Studio, brought to you by the Thornhill Auto Group. Ryan Nicholson is our producer today. Bigly, Piggly, Wiggly, hotline 304-345-5858. And the text line for Fruth is 304-935-5008. If there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon. Parmar again, fueling the Adelphia Summer Concert Series in Marietta, Ohio. It's only a 90-minute drive from downtown Charleston. Weekend one coming up Friday, June 28th. Struggle Jennings, Blacktop Mojo, Bobaflex, Cowboy Killer, Truck Stop, and Sybil's Silence. That's the Saturday show. I kind of skipped ahead. The Friday show features the Wallflowers. And then on Sunday, it's Uncle Cracker and Blanco Brown. That's on Sunday. So you got all that? All right. For the tickets, visit theadelphia.com. If there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon. And we're brought to you by the Thornhill Auto Group, including Thornhill Mitsubishi on the Thornhill Motor Mile, US 119 in Chapmanville. Make this summer the summer for you in a new 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander or Outlander plug-in hybrid. See Thornhill for all the details. Coming up a little bit later on the show, Clendenin Mayor Kay Summers is going to be stopping by the town of Clendenin, getting ready for their big summer festival this weekend. We'll talk to the mayor about that, plus several other things going on in Clendenin. State Democratic Party Chair and Delegate Mike Pushkin will be stopping by. The Democrats had their convention, I think it was this past weekend. Many of them came away pretty stoked about the whole thing. We'll talk to the chairman and delegate about that, plus your calls and texts are welcome too. It is Juneteenth, as I said. It is a federal holiday. No mail service today. Banks, governmental offices, everything closed today. Now, tomorrow is West Virginia Day. That's a state holiday. So many of those same buildings will also be closed tomorrow as well. So just so you know, all the activities for Juneteenth in Charleston, I think, getting underway here in a couple of hours. Actually, it's an entire day's worth of activities. If you heard the interview I did with Ray Whiting, who is the chair of the Juneteenth Committee in Charleston, all that good with the parade and everything going on downtown around Slack Plaza. So take it all in, but hydrate when you do. Millie Snyder, who is always up for a party from the Shape Shop, is with us right now. Welcome back.
Thank you. And my question is, how did you survive last month without me?
You know, normally you come on with me once a month, and it just so happened that last week I was out of state. I had some business I had to take care of out of state, and so you couldn't do the show without me.
This is true.
So with all due respect,
that doesn't mean I wasn't sad.
I know, but you're back now.
I am.
All right. Maybe we should queue up and sing the old Peaches and Herb song, Reunited. You know,
maybe we shouldn't.
Maybe we shouldn't. No.
I can sing, but I'm, don't know who my partner can.
No, no. I'm the only one in my family that has no musical ability. All my family members played stuff. My dad was in a gospel group, and all of a sudden, I did.
I have musical ability, but I try to keep it quiet.
I find rhythm in a bottle, and I'll just leave it at that.
Oh, I got.
Not going to say anything else about that.
Any particular bottle?
No. I'm just saying if there's a karaoke, I might do it, but okay. No. But we're not going to talk. We're not going to do that. So, can I be the first to say, is it hot enough for you?
No. Is it going to get any hotter?
Well, they say
I'm not happy.
The weather folks say that the humidity is actually going to be a little bit less so because it's going to be a drier type heat, as they say. So it's going to feel hot, it's still in the mid 90s, but it's not going to feel the heat indices, which I love saying indices. It used to be heat indexes. Now it's heat indices. Is actually going to be a little bit.
That's a very big word
for me, especially.
Yes.
It's actually going to be a little bit lower. So it's not going to feel quite as hot over the next couple of days. But it's still, you look at your thermometer, it's still going to say 95 degrees.
We want people to come to the Shape Shop, use it as a cooling center, come in and sit there and eat good food, but stay cool also. because it's been very, very, very hot.
Be a good time to sample some of your treats you have there, your cool stuff.
Absolutely.
Like,
And now that people are paying attention to the fact of the dangers of sugar, people aren't wondering why Shape Shop doesn't use sugar, because it's becoming so important. On the national news several weeks ago, we were advised, stop using sugar, and I stopped putting sugar in our foods in 2017. And at that point in time, everyone knew that I had become a lunatic. But I wasn't a lunatic then.
There's a promo right there, Ryan. Yeah, make sure you get that.
But anyway, and our desserts, our muffins, everything that we make without sugar needs to be experienced, not just because you're diabetic. It used to be just because you were diabetic, but now it's an overall health issue. Having sugar is bad for your body. Now, there are a lot of people who don't want to hear that. I mentioned that in a group, and this one particular person glared at me so hard that I thought I thought I was going to be fried into my seat. But anyway, the point is, people will reject it, but sugar is not a friend.
And you use stevia in a lot of things,
we
right?
use stevia.
Now, what exactly is stevia?
Well, stevia is a natural plant that grows. It's not a manufactured artificial
And that's
sweetener.
the key. That's the key.
Yes.
Because so many of these things came out years ago, to replace sugar.
Right.
But some of the stuff was probably as bad, or a different kind of bad, I'll put it that way,
Yes.
as what sugar was.
They said that sweet and low back in the day, which was a derivative of saccharin, could cause cancer, but you had to eat a room full of it. And then from there came aspartame, and aspartame caused so many problems for different people. And I remember waking up one day, and aspartame was the sweetener in all of our drinks. So you didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
You also didn't have a voice in that. And then we went into Splenda, which was a big lie because they said it was made out of sugar, but it wasn't made out of sugar. It was made out of chemicals. And from all of this, we have now come to the natural use of stevia. And it's good. And it has no aftertaste. There are people who will swear that there's an aftertaste, but there isn't. And so it's good. It's better for the body. Sugar is not good for us.
You sell in your store, in your restaurant, your cafe there, a particular type of soda, and I can't, for
Yes.
the life of me, remember what the name of it is. But we buy it in our house. It's
Zevia.
Zevia.
Yes, and it's good.
And it is very
and it's
good.
the only soda out there, and soda even is maligned somewhat. We should, because we're now learning that too much diet soda can cause AFib.
Right.
So that's another thing that we need. I mean, there are a lot of people who are going to say, okay, if I do all of this and I do all of that, I need to stay in a little room and not do anything. That's not the point. Use things in moderation. But the best way to have something to drink is this thing called H2O.
And especially with the heat we have now, you have all of these different
Being hydrated is so very
different
important.
drinks and so on and so forth. And there's still nothing that's ever been as good as water.
And it really does
just regular
quench your
water.
thirst.
Yeah, it does. It does. What kind of food you cooking up down there these days?
Well,
What are you excited about?
We're getting ready for it. We've been very busy on our truck.
Oh, sure. I'm going to talk about that. Yeah.
People are loving the things that they're making on the food truck. And also, last year we created something new called Salmon Bites, and we introduced them at Live on the Levee. So, of course, since I know so much, and I heard that they were putting Salmon Bites out on the food truck, I said, you can't do that. People aren't going to walk around eating fresh salmon. In the meantime, we sold out. So every time we put out Salmon Bites, we sell out.
So it's just what the name implies. It's just salmon bites.
Fresh salmon.
Fresh salmon.
It's not from a can.
Yeah.
It's not processed. It's absolutely delicious. And it's served on a bed of quinoa along with fresh slices of avocado. Now, where can you get that kind of food off of a food truck unless you're a Shape Shop food truck? Because a lot of places are not putting the best fresh food out there. They're putting processed foods that are loaded with chemicals and preservatives. And our bodies are not designed to handle that. And those chemicals cause problems somewhere down the line.
Yeah, they do indeed. It's been proven. 9:16. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you part by your hometown baseball team, the Charleston Dirty Birds. The Birds are on the road in Lexington. They got a win last night. They've raised the record to 500. They are back at Gomart Ballpark Friday night for a weekend series against Gastonia. Tickets, merchandise, schedules, promotions, and more. Visit dirtybirdsbaseball.com. All right, let's talk about the food truck. Where you be? Where you been? Where you going?
Well, last Saturday we were at the Yak Fest. We're live on the levee. This week we're live on the levee. Next week we're going to TC Energy, but that's a private event, so people can't come to that. We have live on the levee all the way through the end of the season, and then of course
Are you there every week at Live on the Levee?
Oh yes, every Friday. Okay. I mean, we could not be there on a Friday, but I love going there because it's so much fun, and people look forward to us being there. So that's our Friday night spot. And then we also are going to be at the Regatta, which we're looking forward to, and that's going to be straight 5 days through the 4th. And
that's a lot of salmon bites.
Yeah, absolutely.
What else do you have on the food truck?
Everything we make, David, is fresh. We bake our own chicken, our own turkey, our own beef, and we make some of the most unique, delicious wraps. Yesterday, I received a call. Someone wants to hire the food truck for their wedding reception that's going to be held in Fayetteville, and that's becoming very trendy. Instead of hiring a caterer, they're hiring 1 or 2 food trucks.
I've heard this. Yeah.
And they heard that our food is fresh and delicious. So that was a lovely opportunity, but it's not going to happen until next April. And then they told me the date, which is April 24th, and that is a national holiday. And you might say, what does that mean, Millie? April 24th is Barbra Streisand's birthday.
I knew there was going to be a Barbra Streisand.
Well, you understand
reference in there. You're a fan. Well, you're a stalker, actually, of Barbra Streisand. But that's
yes, I guess I am.
You went to her house.
I did, but I didn't stalk her, I swear. I was so nervous. How could I have stalked anybody?
All right. I know because you are always reading things about, the latest information's coming out about foods that are good for us and what's not good for us. What's on your mind as far as that goes as we close? Because I know you probably got some information.
I just want people to know that we have 2 Mediterranean groups, and right now, so many people are taking the shots for weight loss. And I'm not going to say that they're bad because I'm not qualified to say that, but we need to pay attention to the fact that we must learn how to eat. We must learn how to take care of ourselves. A medication that takes all that weight off, it's not the be-all, end-all, because at some point we're going to stop using that drug, and we have to find out what the education entails in order to keep it off. I teach Mediterranean eating lifestyle at the Shape Shop in a private meeting room Thursday morning, Saturday morning. We start our talk at 9:15. If you want to learn how to take care of yourself over the long haul and eat real food, fresh, delicious, real food, the name of the group is called Fix It with Foods. Simple and to the point. We want people to know how to be smart for themselves.
Now, do people need to contact you? Do they need to?
They can just walk
or just
in,
show up.
Show up.
9:15 on.
And modest fees apply, and I promise you, those fees are very modest.
And you may want to do some shopping, because in addition to the cafe serving up fresh food, you also have a lot of things you can get to go. Different.
Absolutely, they just have to come in, give the order, and while they're at the meeting, we're putting their order together. So it's.
But I mean, you have things that are already ready to go anytime. Because I know Ron,
he's one of our great customers.
He's one of your great customers that shows up.
He loves our desserts.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. He just goes in and gets the desserts and leaves.
We had a phone call yesterday. A lady called up. She said, "Do you have dirt cakes?" I said, "Wait a minute, I have to go look in the freezer." Yes, we had 7 dirt cakes. She came in 20 minutes later. She bought all 7 of them.
Wow.
Which is a great compliment to the things that we have.
It is indeed. You got a text here that said Millie is the best, and I don't care because he actually put his name on the text from Fred Albert.
Thank you, Fred. Thank you.
My good buddy from the AFT, American Federation of Teachers. But he said, please tell her hello. So
he's a great friend and
good guy.
He absolutely is from start to finish. So I'm very proud to call him my friend.
All right. Millie, we'll talk to you next month. Be careful out there. Stay cool.
I will, and you do the same.
All
Thanks,
right.
Dave.
The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, presented in part by General Hardware of Winfield and Milton and General Lumber of Winfield. For all projects, big and small, shop locally. Visit generalhardwarewv.com. Ryan Nicholson is our producer today. Bigly, Piggly, Wiggly, hotline 304-345-5858. Fruit Pharmacy text 304-935-5008. State Democratic Party Chair and Delegate Mike Pushkin coming up a little bit later on. Plus, the mayor of Clendenin, Kay Summers. She got a big event going on this weekend. We're going to talk to her about that next. We're back after this from the Parmar Store studio on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses want to thank you for supporting local small businesses.
Make this summer the summer in a new 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander or Outlander plug-in hybrid. With its premium interior, 2 years limited maintenance included, and an industry-leading warranty. Drive home today starting at $28,395. The moment is now at Thornhill Mitsubishi. Super all-wheel control is an available feature on all trim levels. Manufacturer suggested retail price. Excludes destination handling, tax, title, license, dealer charges, and options. All supplies last. Limited availability at participating dealers may require placing an order and cause a delay in delivery. Retailer price, terms, and vehicle availability may vary. See your local Mitsubishi retailer for details.
Welcome to Poca Valley, where we've been in business since 1908. Today, we serve Roane, Kanawha, Putnam, and surrounding counties. We believe you deserve banking that provides friendly customer service. For all of your financial needs, stop by one of our 8 convenient locations. Call us at 844-782-2651 or visit us online at PocaValleyBank.com. Poca Valley, where relationships matter.
Member FDIC.
Your Putnam County Assessor's Office is mandated to ensure your real estate is evaluated properly and fairly. This year, their field personnel will be in the Taze Valley, Curry, and Hurricane districts to revisit homeowners. Plus, new construction in the county will be assessed. They will be in marked vehicles and will have photo ID and business cards. If you have any questions about this process, visit their website at PutnamCOAssessor.com. That's PutnamCOAssessor.com.
924 of the Dave Allen Show and 580 Live, brought to you part by Pinnacle Consultants. We spend 90% of our time indoors, and our health risk for air pollution can be greater indoors than out. Pinnacle Consultants, the only accredited commercial lab in the state for asbestos and mold. Visit pinnaclecorp.net, because what you don't know can hurt you. Bigly, Piggly, Wiggly, hotline 304-345-5858. Fruit Pharmacy text 304-935-5008. Hoppy Kercheval back in the Cove Insurance Studios for Metro News Talk Line at 10:06. Coming up this morning, Senator Shelley Moore Capito's on the show. Some Juneteenth talk with David Freisen, State School Board President Paul Hardesty, State School Superintendent Michelle Blatt. They'll be together talking about some issues with homeschooling in the state of West Virginia. Chris Steyerwald is on the show today. Ryan Schmelz and Jared Halpern from Fox News Radio, and a young lady from Winfield by the name of Sydney Alexander announced yesterday she was the winner of the 2024 West Virginia Scholars Competition. She gets a full-ride scholarship, everything paid for, to West Virginia Wesleyan. Pretty cool stuff there. Room, board, everything covered for Miss Alexander, a native of Winfield. She's going to be on the show today as well. Hoppy Kercheval coming up at 10:06 with Talkline. I want to welcome in our good friend now, the mayor of Clendenin, Kay Summers. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for being here. You got big shoes to fill after when you have to follow Millie Snyder. You realize
that,
right?
I really do. You know, I was talking to Mrs. Snyder out in the lobby, and one of her first appointments was Clendenin. They tried it out in Clendenin, Weight Watchers back then, and she was telling me how kind all the ladies were to her. And I was one of those people that didn't bring her vegetables and all that, but I did attend her classes, by the way.
She's fantastic. Now she does the Mediterranean thing, you know. She and her food truck. So I don't know if with all these events you have in Clendenin, I don't know whether you've ever had her up there, but you need to make sure you get her food truck up there.
I will ask that. We'll try that. That's a good idea, because I haven't done that yet.
Okay, all right. So you said you had something. What do you got for me?
Well, I'd like to talk to you today about Clendenin Summerfest.
Yeah.
And it's going to be this weekend. It's going to be Saturday, and it starts at 11 o'clock. With the Legion of Honor presenting the flags, and we have the national anthem. We have a fashion show. We have the middle school majorettes. We have lots of bands, lots of music. And then ending it up, we have fireworks at 9:30. and we're going to have them over on the riverbank. We're real excited about that on Route 119 side, and we're just real excited about that. And we'd love for people to come, and it's going to be hot. We have lots of water, lots of food trucks, lots of food, but just dress cool.
Yeah.
You don't have to dress up for
How many years has Summerfest been going on?
Well, let me explain to you. We used to call it, we celebration of the flood. If you remember last year, I came and talked to you. It was our lucky 7.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is the 8th year since the flood. So Summerfest,
which is coming up just in a couple days, the actual anniversary,
23rd,
right? Okay, the 23rd,
and
yeah.
that's why it's this weekend. It's always this weekend.
Okay, got you.
So we decided we don't want to talk about the past. We want to tell you about all the things we're doing in the future and celebrate what we've done for 8 years. So that's why I'm here today.
All right, and I've got information posted on my social media.
I know, thank you.
on Dave Allen Radio and also on X. You can go check that out. You got a whole lot of stuff going on there, man.
Till 9:30 at night, then fireworks. That's a lot of stuff.
I mean, music. I always think it's interesting that you do a fashion show when you do these kind of things. Now, how did that idea come about to do a fashion show?
We have a great shop. It's Lisa's Boutique, and she has all these nifty clothes, and she brings. I'm going to say ladies, young girls, little girls of all ages. And they come and we put them on the stage with music and they display her fashions. And it's very successful. So,
and I would imagine that the town comes out for that because they and others because they want to see the young ladies there involved in it. It's good stuff there. So everything's going on with Summerfest this weekend. We'll go back to that in a minute. I want to talk about some things going on in the town.
Okay, can
itself.
I tell you?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to do a quote, and this quote says, "Good things happening in Clendenin." And the gentleman who did that, his name is Evan, and his wife's name is Becky Harding. And they purchased the Clendenin Brewery. They are opening on Saturday, and they are going to do a fantastic job. They're remodeling. And Dave, I brought you some things because I want you to wear it proudly.
Okay.
I brought you a coaster. You don't wear the coaster proudly. You just use that. And we have some things for you. But we have a couple T-shirts.
All right, cool.
Clendenin Brewery.
Well, thank you very much.
We have a Clendenin hat.
All right, I'm racking up with stuff here.
We have a beer opener.
Yeah, I won't use that on the air. I promise.
No, you won't. A
okay.
koozie.
All right, okay. Koozie. Yes. Ryan, are you seeing all this stuff we're getting here? Because I got to take care of my producer too.
So we are very proud, and I will tell you, Evan and Becky are fantastic, and they're bringing a new life to the Clendenin Brewery. It's right beside the stage. You've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
And they love to have music. They're going to do different things, and so we're just real excited.
There's actually a little piece in the paper today about that.
Well,
I saw that earlier.
And you can watch it on Facebook because he has a Facebook.
Okay.
He's building the bar. I'll give a little background. He was an engineer for General Electric for 15 years, and if you know General Electric, they work their folks to the bone, and they have lots of work ethics. And then he said he decided to retire. He was going to retire. His plan was for 15 years. And he did. And now he's a bright young man. His wife is bright, and they're very industrious. And he's building a new bar. He's doing a lot of the work himself. So I'm really, really proud.
And I've spent a lot of time, it seems, over the past week or so talking about outdoor activities because, you had Yak Fest in St. Albans last week in the Coeur d'Alene, and we talked about that. You folks, though, in Clendenin have been some of the ones that have been all over this thing from day one and selling, if you will, the river and all the things that go along with it.
Okay, Dave Nye, who was supposed to come with me today as a councilman, he has a yak house, and he rents kayaks, and it's been very successful. And that's why he can't be here today because he had a big party that was coming out this morning. So he had to choose to stay there with them or be with the two of us.
Understood. But, are you amazed, though, as somebody, that's, been around the area for a while, are you ever surprised about the popularity of the outdoor activities and how many people are willing to come to areas here in the Kanawha Valley in general, specifically Clendenin, since that's what we're talking about? It's amazing the amount of people from out of state that are coming in for our rivers.
You would be surprised the number of people that out of state, and they go right by my office, and I see them. And people in state that have horses, they're bringing horses, they're riding the trails of the horses. And the river, the kayaks are going up the river. So like last Sunday when they had all the Yak Fest going on down the river, I don't know how many people we had on the river. I couldn't count all the people, all the kayaks. And then what we've been fortunate to do, we have paved what we call the boat docks. And so a lot of people use that for their ocean, their vacation. They take lawn chairs and sit in the river, and the kids play and build sand castles, and people fish. And so all the places we have 2 boat docks that are paved now. We're getting ready to do another one, and we're utilizing that. The people love it, so I'm very proud.
Talk about the business climate. You talk about the brewing company, and you mentioned the boutique. What are some of the other businesses that you have going on?
I want to talk about the boutique for a minute, too.
Okay, yeah.
All that. And I brought something with you for that.
Nice.
I'm
racking up today, right?
I know you are. It's called Fox Coffee Bar, and she has flavored drinks and energy drinks, and it is all the coffee with the coffee beans. And so a lot of people were stopping in there, and so that's another thing that she's added. We have the bakeries. We have the different businesses, the different restaurants. A fast story, a guy came the other day and ate at one of our restaurants, and he said that we are coming to Snowshoe, and we're bringing Porsches, and we'd like to come through Clendenin and use the back roads. Can you feed us? Can you cater us a lunch? And so the lady who owned the restaurant said, sure. He said, I'd like for you to fix 150 lunches and that. Well, over 200 cars, Porsches, came to the town of Clendenin. We thought it was going to be a private party.
Mm-hmm.
They had a band on the stage. They stayed. But the nice thing is there were only 2 people. That's not nice, but only 2 people from West Virginia were in this group. They were from all over the country, from the state of Washington, Maine, California, Utah, all that. And they all got to see Clendenin, West Virginia, and they were all so complimentary of our town, their friendliness. But can you imagine the town of Clendenin having over 200 Porsches sitting on their street?
That's good stuff. And once we get people here, Mayor, and I talk to this with community leaders all the time, once we get them here,
they'll come back.
Oh, and I mean, I had Commission President Lance Wheeler on the show yesterday.
Yes.
Talked about, I think it was grandparents that came to see their kids play in a soccer event out at Shawnee and liked it so much they decided to move here.
Yes.
They were retired and they just decided to move here.
And it's happening. And that's what the people that had this event, this road rally or whatever you call it, they were staying. They had to go back. They were going back to Snowshoe. But he said to me, I'd like to come back to Clendenin. We'd like to come back to Clendenin next year. And I told him, of course, we'd love to have him. The only thing, we need 200 hotel rooms. But Charleston's not that far. Because when things happen in Shawnee, people stay in Clendenin.
We talked about that yesterday, too, yeah.
And when the bike thing was going, people stayed in Clendenin. So we can work it out, but that's part of the deal.
Going to have to get you some hotels in Clendenin.
No, that's the next thing. Another thing, we're paving another mile of the trail. Matter of fact, it's happening this week. We have the new apartment building, the senior apartments. We're paving back there. We're paving the street behind that. Clendenin Elementary is opening after 8 years this August. Drove out there last night. It's a beautiful, beautiful setting, and I can't wait for everyone to see. Hoover opened last year. We even had a girl that she and her dad came and visited. They bought a property in Clendenin. I told them about Hoover. The daughter was going to stay in London and go to school, and I asked them to come and visit. They visited with our principal, Mike Kelly, that you've met.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, she's going to come here next year and go to school at Herbert Hoover High School.
Oh, that's
finish
awesome.
out. And she's already taken college courses at Cambridge, so she's a pretty smart little girl.
Sounds like you got a lot of stuff going on.
We're working hard.
Let's recap the Summerfest again.
Okay.
When do things start, and what do people need to know?
It starts at 11 o'clock.
On Saturday.
And it goes until 9:30 of the fireworks.
Okay.
And the fireworks are going to be on 119 side, and so people can watch it from there. They can watch it. We've cleared off the riverbanks, so people can even watch it, but we are putting the fireworks off on the riverbank. We have lots of music, lots of fashion. We have a petting zoo free. We have face painting, and we have a mobile game center too for the kids. So everything's free for everybody.
And it's going to be a lot of stuff going on in Clendenin.
And a lot of hot.
A lot of hot, and be prepared for that, and hydrate, and you'll have plenty of water.
We have fans, and we're trying to find a misty machine. Do you know where one is?
I'm fresh out. No, I don't know, but all right. So there you go. Well, no, we'll network here a little bit. Okay. You're looking for a misting machine.
Yes.
All right. So if you are listening right now and you know somebody that has access to a misting machine, you can just contact City Hall, I guess.
Yes, that's right. City Hall or contact you, and you can contact me.
All right. There you go. Sounds good.
Okay. One other thing. I want to thank the Kanawha County Commissioners, because without them, most of this would not be possible, and they keep continuing to support and believe in our town. And I want to thank them very much.
All right.
Thank you.
Indeed. Mayor, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show. Mayor Kay Summers of Clendenin. Thanks a lot.
And I want you to come to the brewery, and I want you to wear the hat and shirts and the coffee.
I'll do it.
Shop proudly.
I'll do it.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Mayor Kay Summers. 24 minutes away from 10. I almost said 7 for some reason. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you part by Live Healthy West Virginia, presented by WVU Medicine. Live Healthy tackles pressing health issues. It's a podcast that offers insights into medical breakthroughs and preventative care, featuring WVU Medicine's expert physicians aimed at fostering healthier lifestyles. It's a valuable resource for all. Discover the latest episodes on WVMetroNews.com under the podcast menu and start your journey towards better health today. We're going to take a break. State Democratic Party Chair and Delegate Mike Pushkin coming up next. We're back after this from the Parmar Stores studio and the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Generations is growing and looking to add on job-trained physical therapy techs to our rehab team. To apply, visit one of our 7 convenient locations or simply click on us at generationspt.com.
When you meet someone for the first time, a beautiful smile is the best first impression. If you desire a beautiful smile, no matter where you are in your dental journey, let Garib Dental Group and their experienced dental professionals help make it a reality. From routine cleanings to complex cosmetic treatment, simple fillings to advanced implant placement, Garib Dental Group is prepared to handle any smile. And with the latest technology conveniently placed at each of their 6 locations, Garib Dental Group is prepared to handle the most complex treatment plans. Visit GaribDentalGroup.com to learn more. We love to see your smile.
If it's not cost-effective for your business to maintain an in-house IT staff, then let Comax Business Systems be your complete IT consulting service solution. By outsourcing IT services, you free up yourself and your staff for revenue-generating opportunities. Comax can provide an IT help desk with 24/7 support, server and PC management and monitoring, IT strategy, backup servers, and a client portal to help keep track of everything. Call Comax Business Systems for a free quote today. Comax Business Systems, keeping West Virginia's business data safe, secure, and efficient for 25 years.
Bigley Piggly Wiggly on Spring Street has served 3 generations of shoppers since 1955 as the largest locally owned independent grocery store in the area. The Joseph family owners grew up here, so you know they're invested in the community. They provide the biggest variety of choice meats, the freshest produce, an in-house deli bakery, great wine selection, and more of your favorite brands. Every purchase gives you gasoline points so you can save at our pumps. Order online for pickup at BigleyPigglyWiggly.com. Bigley Piggly Wiggly on Spring Street. No one beats the pig.
Hi, this is Jim Strawn, and it's time for the Donna L. Skeen Senior Expo. You're invited to the event set for June 27th and 28th at the Charleston Convention Center. Tailored for the aged and disabled community of West Virginia, the expo offers numerous vendors teaching you about medical support, services available, resources, and education. They'll have musical entertainment, crafts, bingo, educational seminars, prize bags, gift cards, and more. Call 877-853-4081 for more information.
The impact of Special Olympics extends far beyond the athletes themselves. Volunteers and supporters touched by the unwavering determination of these extraordinary individuals find immeasurable fulfillment in their involvement. The inclusive approach embraced by Special Olympics fosters an environment where everyone plays a vital role. West Virginia Enriched, in collaboration with Huntington, invites you to witness the transformative power of Special Olympics. See a video highlighting the Special Olympics at Facebook.com/580WCHS. Bigley Piggly Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Have a text line for Fruth 304-935-5008. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. If you're injured, visit forthepeople.com. Coming up on tomorrow's show, Senator Joe Manchin will be here, plus Dr. Casey Sachs from Bridge Valley. And one of our good friends, Rusty Webb, is going to be stopping by. Rusty's been a traveling man as of late. Just returned from France, where he took part. He kind of took in the French Open. Didn't take part in the French Open, but he went to the French Open. But he also made a trip to Normandy, and I'm interested to see what he has to say about that. Delegate and State Democratic Party Chair Mike Pushkin is here. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. Good morning.
And thanks for coming in this morning. And do you see all the stuff that the mayor of Clendenin brought me? What have you ever brought me other than food? You have brought me food.
Well, hopefully good conversation, and we'll try to bring some more good conversation today. But I'll try. I didn't realize that you needed gifts. I needed to pay tribute.
Modern day payola.
Yeah, I didn't know I had to pay tribute to the great Dave Allen when I came. But anyway, happy Juneteenth to you and to your listeners. I know there's going to be a big celebration today over at City Center at Slack Plaza.
Parade and all kinds of stuff. It's all day thing.
A lot of stuff going on, but please stay hydrated.
Yes,
it is going to be a hot Juneteenth.
It is.
it's a great day to commemorate and celebrate, and happy Juneteenth.
I just mentioned that Senator Manchin is going to be on the show tomorrow, and I don't want to get all up in your business with the relationship with you and the senator, but I would be interested in asking, have you talked to him personally since he made his switch from Democrat to Independent?
I have not had a chance to speak with him. I've talked to many members of his staff, and it's all good. He did. I think the news yesterday was he's hosting a fundraiser for Mayor Williams, who is our candidate for governor.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Juneteenth, Huntington was the first city in West Virginia to recognize Juneteenth, and that's under the leadership of Steve Williams.
I want to talk about that fundraiser, kind of bring me to my next point. Stephen Allen Adams of Ogden Newspaper had posted on X a poster for that fundraising event for Steve Williams. It's going to be June 27th at the Hotel Frederick in Huntington. Now, listen to this lineup. Of course, you're going to be there, but Senator Manchin will be there. Former Governor Bob Wise, Barboursville Mayor Chris Tatum, Delegates Hornbuckle and Griffith, State Senators Woeful and Plymel, and that's just to name a few, plus some heavy hitters for the world of business. Todd Shell, who I know very well from his ties to the coal
Todd's
industry.
A good guy. Yeah.
Know Todd and the whole Shell family very well. Jeff Shields, who's a big-time player in the world of healthcare. Doug Reynolds, he of HD Media fame and a former legislator, and son of Marshall Reynolds. If you can't raise some money there's something wrong.
And I would also point out that that's a bipartisan group there. Some of the people you just named are not registered Democrats.
Okay.
So, it's a bipartisan group that's supporting Mayor Williams for governor because they know that he's the better choice. Maybe they just saw that Wallet Hub just announced that Huntington is like the 17th best run city in the entire country, and that's the type of leadership that Mayor Williams can bring to the rest of West Virginia. There's a tongue twister there, the rest of West Virginia.
But I will say this, and just hear me out on this, all right? I'm glad to know it just isn't Republicans who host swanky affairs like this, the kind of thing that average people can't afford. I'm not hating on your party for it, by the way. I'm not at all. I'm just pointing that out because some in the Democratic Party act like that big money doesn't play a role in Democratic Party policies, and it certainly does, just as much as it does in getting Republicans elected.
Unfortunately, to get people elected these days, in order to get your great message out, it costs money to have commercials, to have radio ads, especially on this station.
Well, and it's worth every penny.
Yeah, it's worth every penny. It costs money to get that message out. We think we have a better message, and we need to get it out. I think the difference is, if you're talking about some of my criticism of the fundraiser that took place in Edgewood for the Senate Republican caucus right before the session, it was a $10,000 a plate fundraiser for lobbyists who were trying to get bills passed right before the legislative session. It definitely had more of an appearance of a pay-to-play type thing as this, which is a bipartisan event of people who know and love Steve Williams, and they're supporting him because they know that he's the better choice. In fact, he's the best choice for governor of the state of West Virginia. There's a difference there.
So are we ready to, by the fact that the Joe Manchin's going to be attending this thing with some of the other things he said, are we ready to say 100% that Joe Manchin's not going to be running for governor?
I've been saying that since he said it. I've been saying it all along. I'm not one of the ones that's been putting out this false story into the media. That's not so. Yeah, I've been ready to say that for a while because it's clear he's been supportive of Steve Williams since they had that conversation and Steve decided to run. He maxed out, gave him the maximum contribution in the primary, and has given him, I believe, already given him the maximum contribution in the general election. So I'd say, yeah, he supports him.
You would, I think, because you're a realist, I think you would admit, though, that it's going to be a tough road to hoe for Steve Williams. But just not because of Steve Williams personally, but because he is a Democrat in a deep, deep, deep red state.
Oh, of course it's going to be tough, but we're going to work very hard to get that message out, and we feel we have the better message, and we know we have the better candidate.
What are some of the messages that you're going to say to people? Just give me a few talking points that we can expect to hear.
First of all, if you look at the type of leadership that Mayor Williams has provided, like I just said, Wallet Hub has just announced that Huntington, 17th best run city in the entire country, Huntington, and that's under the leadership.
It's come a long way.
Of Stan, you've spent some time.
It's come a long way.
Was 12 years ago when Steve Williams first became mayor. The city was bankrupt.
Yep.
And he was able to turn all that around, able to pay first responders, able to put more law enforcement back on the street, able to pay their firefighters, able to balance a city budget. And he was able to do all that without raising taxes. So that's something that should have broad appeal to Democrats, independents, Republicans alike. He was able to fix Huntington without raising taxes.
But so
that's the type of leadership he can provide to West Virginia. So that's just part of the message.
I agree.
The other part, I think he said something at our convention. I want to talk about our convention.
As do I.
Is if we could, I can't remember exactly, he said it more eloquently than I could, but basically if we quit focusing on all the divisive politics and actually work together as West Virginians, we can fix many of the issues in West Virginia, like our broken foster care system. And we just heard another tragic event that happened with an even younger child just over the past few days, where we've lost another child from this broken foster care system. And that's just part of this. We have broken schools. We have a broken foster care system. We have broken jails and prisons. The entire system right now is just not functioning properly. And if we would focus on what brings us together as West Virginians and focus on working together instead of the divisive politics that comes out of the Capitol and is often put out there by our current Attorney General and candidate for governor. They're always focusing on what divides us and always spreading fear and mistrust of one another instead of working on what brings us together so we can actually do the necessary work of fixing this state. I can't say it as well as Steve Williams can, but that's basically the message. It's like, let's get together.
The difficult thing,
fix this
I think,
state.
Mike, and I think you would agree with this, the difficult thing for Steve Williams or Glenn Elliott or any of these people is what's going to happen. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but when they are doing a stump speech in Martinsburg, Wheeling, McDowell County, fill in wherever they are, the first thing that is going to happen is somebody, whether it's the Republican Party or whomever, is going to say a vote for Steve Williams, Glenn Elliott, whomever, is a vote for Joe Biden, who is incredibly unpopular in this state. How do you get that message, which I thought you had a pretty good message there, how do you get that to the people, though, and have to say, look, we are not national politics?
Well, I think I'll give the people of West Virginia a little bit more credit, so that they will look at the candidate, not necessarily just the letter after the name.
As they should, but
look at the candidate, and of course, Republicans are going to say that because they're not really wanting to talk a whole lot about their own candidate for governor. I mean, there's so much division over there after that primary, over the dirty primary that was fought for governor.
But they're all lining up behind Morrissey.
I don't know about that. They're paying lip service to that, but that's not exactly what we're seeing. If they're so unified, why did they have a special session to change the law so they wouldn't have to have a convention?
Well, I mean,
I think it's because there's a lot of division over there. You know, the law changed for both parties. Neither state party had to have a convention, but we decided to have a convention because we feel it was important to bring more people into the process.
And I want to talk to you about that convention. I want to talk to you about that convention. But before we get into the convention, let's go to break because I'm going to give it the full time. I want to talk about the convention that you were a major part of, being the State Democratic Party chair. We'll get to that right after the break. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you part by Husson's Pizza. This month is your favorite Husson's. Get a large 18-inch pepperoni pizza and a whole 10-inch sub, only $23.99 from your local Husson's. We're back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses care for your family.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-230-2777. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-230-2777. That's 800-230-2777. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-230-2777. 800-230-2777.
If you've missed the Kim Komando Show, you've missed a lot.
How can we
keep tabs on our wonderful scout who's going to be halfway around the world from us.
She was claiming she had made over $300,000 a year writing blogs, and I thought, challenge accepted.
How much money have you sent them, Jen?
Probably close to $100K.
Oh.
America's digital goddess.
Jen Commando.
Saturday mornings at 10 on the Voice of Charleston, 580 WCHS.
The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Bridge Valley. If you're interested in improving your company's IT workforce, did you know Bridge Valley offers custom-tailored IT training to bridge the skills gap? At Bridge Valley, you can train for little or no cost with a 50-50 salary match. They can also supply skilled graduates and apprenticeships for your company. Visit bridgevalley.edu/apprenticeships today. Text says, Dave, there was no division in the Democratic Party after the primary because no Democrats ran for office.
Well, that is false. We had Democrats run. We have Democrats on the ballot. And we did have a few primaries. We had a couple of we had some contested primaries, far less than we used to. But still, we are united. And we had a great convention that showed that unity. And we heard from our statewide candidates that we feel are just more qualified and quality people.
So tell us about the convention. How did it go? I mean,
it went great. We packed the South Hall of the convention center. We had a full room full of Democrats representing counties, all over the state. We had Democrats from all over the state there as state delegates to the convention, and we did it the way you're supposed to do it. We did it in an inclusive manner. We heard voices from all across the state in selecting our delegates to the national convention in Chicago, which is coming up in August.
Will you be attending that?
Yes, I will. I'm the chair of the West Virginia
I didn't
Democratic
know.
Party, and I will be going.
I figured you would, but I didn't know.
Yeah, I had the honor of being elected as the chair of the delegation going to Chicago.
Okay.
And we have a great delegation going to Chicago. We also adopted a new party platform.
Tell us about that.
Well, I think it's echoes a lot of the things I talk about here on all the time. Whether it's you work for a living, you should make a living wage. You should be safe at the workplace. We should have great public schools for everybody's kids, not just the elite few. If you get sick, you should be able to see a doctor. If you turn on your faucet, you should be able to trust the water coming out of your tap. Basic things that just about every West Virginian, in fact, all West Virginians agree on. And, of course, we're also an inclusive party where everybody's welcome, and we stand for basic human rights. So that's just that's the 30,000-foot view on it. But we have a platform that I'm proud of, and I think our candidates will be proud to run on that across the state, whereas the Republican platform was not adopted by delegates to a convention. It was done behind closed doors at an executive committee by a handful of people, and it's not an inclusive platform. It's pretty extreme.
Was there any kind of debate on any of the things?
Of course, we had debate on everything.
Well, I mean, you should have debate.
Yeah, if you don't debate, you're no longer a political party or a cult.
Does
that sound familiar?
When
you're not a party that follows rules and allows people to have differing opinions and you work it out, that's what political parties do. Cults,
no argument.
Cults all fall in line behind one man. Does that sound familiar?
No argument. Was there talk, or did anybody ask for a proclamation about a ceasefire in Gaza or anything like that? The reason I say this is because I thought I saw somebody posted on X that was called that said they wanted that sort of thing. Maybe I was wrong, but
we had a resolutions committee, and it went very late into the evening, and we allowed for a debate on everything, and we took votes on everything, and that particular resolution did not make it to the floor.
Okay, and I say that because it's similar to what was proposed in Charleston with the city of Charleston too, and they opted not to bring it to the floor as well.
Well, the resolution was not tabled; it was debated. We had an open debate on it. Went very late into the evening, and the resolution did not make it to the floor.
Text says, Dave, Mayor Williams has no chance in the upcoming election. He's a nice guy, but the drug trade and other problems have not been eradicated in the city over the many years he's been mayor. The days of Democrat rule in West Virginia are over, says the texter.
I disagree. I think he's done a great job in the city of Huntington, completely turned that city around, and I wish we could eradicate every evil from the world, but quite frankly, it doesn't matter who the president is, the governor is. There are always going to be issues. It's a matter of who do you trust to deal with those issues.
And he's been
a three-term mayor who has done more to turn a city around, or an attorney general who was sent here by the pharmaceutical lobby to give sweetheart deals behind closed doors and settle for pennies on the dollar in pharmaceutical cases. Who do you trust to handle the drug problem? the mayor of Huntington or a pharmaceutical lobbyist?
And I will say
Pretty
the mayor of
clear answer for
Huntington
me.
has been one that has been in the national spotlight for what they have done in Huntington. Not to say that they don't have problems, but you saw him, with former chief, I guess, Jan Rader, and in the film Heroin, and so on and so forth. And he's been one that's been out there. But what Morrissey is going to do, Attorney General Morrissey, in his race for governor, he's going to come out and say who was fighting these pharmaceutical companies. That's going to be his argument.
He was working for the pharmaceutical.
But he's going to say who's won battles in court for them, who's got opioid settlement money.
Settled for pennies on the dollar. Who knows what we could have had if we would have had somebody who was actually fighting for us and not somebody whose family was on their payroll.
About the convention, text said, did all the unicorns sit at the same table, or did they sit among the attendees who believe in fantasy? Unicorns?
I don't even understand how to answer that question.
Okay. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you part by Fresh Air. They'll change your heating and cooling unit air filters for your home, your retail business, your restaurant, your church, and they can custom build filters for you. 24-hour emergency services available. Visit freshairfilters.us or call 304-440-1104 for Fresh Air, because everyone deserves fresh air. All right, now because I know out of world politics, you got something you want to talk about. I want to get to that. The presidential debate is going to be next week. I think it's the 27th in Atlanta, and it's going to be 90 minutes. They're going to cut the mics when one of the candidates can't follow rules. I'm just going to leave it at that. So they're going to cut the mics. Will you eagerly be anticipating, or will it be like one of my comedic heroes, Bill Maher, says that it should be a contest to see which one can hold their pee the longest, because it's 90 minutes on two old men?
That's a long time. It's a long time on young men like us, actually.
So you looking forward to it?
Yeah, I think it's interesting, and I'll watch it. I think that's fairly certain who I'm gonna vote for. I think that
Team Biden for you, huh?
Yeah. I think the other choice is incredibly dangerous. Probably the most dangerous threat we've had to our democratic republic in my lifetime. And I'm not just, and I think you probably agree with me. Not saying it.
No, I'm not a Trump guy.
Disagreeing with me.
I'm not a Trump guy. I've said that. I was twice. I'm no longer. I mean, that's just the way it is. Do you worry about the mental status of Joe Biden? No, of Joe Biden.
I saw on the commemoration of D-Day, when our president was speaking on on the beaches in France, and being a statesman, I saw the juxtaposition of a rally in Las Vegas where former President Trump's teleprompters went off, and he went on this strange rant about sharks and electric boats. So I think we'll be just fine in that debate. Real quick, I'm playing live on the Levee Friday. I'm with John Ingram is doing another one of those tributes. Then this Friday, the tribute is to the Talking Heads, and I'm honored that I'll be opening the Talking Heads portion of the show. I'm doing the first two Talking Heads songs that night. So, like I said, stay hydrated. It's going to be hot, but come on down. Also, the Juneteenth celebration starts today at 11 o'clock at Slack Plaza. I'm going to go out there and check it out. But it's a great holiday, and I appreciate Ray Whiting as the chair of the board for the Juneteenth holiday here in Charleston. It's going to be a great time. Get out to Slack Plaza, but stay cool.
All right, man. We'll talk to you soon. I appreciate you being here, Mike. Thanks a lot. We got Hoppy coming up with Talk Line at 10:06. I will be back tomorrow morning to do it all again. Until then, have fun and love somebody.
WCHS AM, 96.5 FM Charleston, and 104.5 Cross Lanes, a WVRC media station. We're proud to live here, too.